Today we are finally getting around to starting tackling this inner wing. Now I had a plan, I planned my plan, I started executing my plan, and then I realized it was a dumbass plan and I changed my plan. So rather than show you all the clips and bits of me planning out and getting to where I've got to, I figured I'd start again and save you all some time. In a nutshell, what we're doing here is we're planning to replace this front section here. So we've got the missing bit here of the inner wing. It also incorporates this bit of slam panel that's rotten and all this front panel here where it all joins. I mean, this whole section where it all connects is all Swiss cheese. This rear bit of wing here I'm going to do separately another day. I'm either going to fabricate a bit of sheet metal to replace all this or use a cut section from that Golf front end I've got. Either way, that I'm dealing with another day. Today we are concentrating on this front bit. Now this is what I've ended up with my cut repair panel that I obtained a long time ago. Now it may look like all I've done is actually cut the chassis leg section out, but there's actually a hell of a lot more to it than that. Basically I wanted to retain this headlight surround structure, so what I've done is I've drilled the spot welds out from here. See where they went there? So if I do the same on my one, then that'll be good alignment for that section there. Yeah. Pilot holes for the spot welds, ready to drill out. There we go, spot welds off. It's almost a shame to go through this perfectly preserved little VW logo, but needs must. Halfway there. The other thing I wanted to do was retain my chassis leg. There's nothing wrong with the chassis leg on my car, so it was pointless cutting through it and replacing it with the cut panel on here. So in order to do that, I needed to separate this inner wing section from the chassis leg. Now originally my plan, and the easiest way of doing that, was simply to cut through here. I also wanted to retain, if you see on my car, you got this front structural member here. Now as you can see, mine's got holes in and pieces. I also wanted to retain this section on the inner wing. And originally, you can see the line I've drawn here, I was going to cut around said piece. So I've got my inner wing section and this section, which I can then cut off to the right length, weld onto here, and then weld my inner wing on. I've realized though in doing that, when I cut this line, because I want to retain both this side and this side, I was going to end up with a good 4 to 5 mil gap with the angle grinder I've got, which when it comes to butt welding that together would cause all manner of problems, I'm sure. So instead, I went down what ended up being quite a simple route, but quite time consuming. I carried on drilling the spot welds. So as you can see, I located the spot welds here. And drilled them out nice and gently, and therefore we've retained this kind of chassis piece from a cut panel. So now I can cut through here, and when I come around to doing this bit, I can weld that on there first and then stick the whole inner wing onto that repaired section. So there you have it. Now next in line is essentially to do the same on this as what I've done on here. Although I don't need to really worry about drilling out these spot welds. I'm not going to be keeping this section of chassis. I can just cut this up. I'm not going to use all this panel. I mean, it's pointless. I mean, all this is solid on mine. But I wanted to retain as much of this as possible so that when I find a nice, clean, sensible edge on my one, I can then mimic that on here and marry the two up. So yes, actual progress of sorts.